funny if we developed a SMAC sound that we could actually implement.
Just the...
Well, kind of like a radio station.
Oh,
you know how like they have like the MIDI board. We could. Oh my god! Ideas. We could totally do that. We could create like fucking sounds with my MIDI board, and we could create smacks.
So fun fact, I've already started recording.
I know. Hey!
You found us.
You found us. Surprise! So glad you clicked here.
Hi guys, welcome back.
The Red Room.
To the Red Room. The official studio of the SMAC cast.
And Zeus.
And Zeus, our mascot. Apparently he's a little chunky.
Go on. He's like, where do I go?
I'm stuck.
There's too much stuff in the way.
So it is about near 11 o'clock at night when we're filming this, so this is where the real conversation happens.
My brain hurts.
We're also dealing with headaches. But I think I got a great starter for this one.
Nope, I do. I got my COVID vaccine! I got the Johnson & Johnson one. I got it through work. My insurance covered it. COVID vaccines are free. Do not pay for a COVID vaccine. They are free.
See, I need to get mine still, but I thought young people like us were not like near the top to get the vaccine. Or I guess it just depends on where you work.
Depends on where you work.
Oh, see, there you go. We haven't got mine yet.
I have been working for the entire year of COVID. I am an essential worker. I have been in office every day. Well, also on the production floor and sometimes working remote.
She's putting in work.
Working.
I work from home, so I'm safe.
You know?
Except for like 2 weeks when I had to go back.
Yeah, that one time.
And then I immediately got good enough to go back home. So
You're like, psych.
it's like, you can't keep me here, Dad.
You passed the test. Good job.
Oh,
Merry Christmas. When did you go back into the office?
It was in mid-October.
Okay. Yeah, Merry Christmas.
It was 2 weeks later, and I remember when I got there, I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna be able to go back home very soon, just saying. And I did. It was great.
Oh, that's tough.
It's so nice to work from home. That's awesome. I need to get mine. Get your damn vaccine, or at least don't do stupid shit.
If you're not gonna get your vaccine, at least continue to social distance, wash your hands, wear a mask, like just be respectful of other people, and I'm gonna continue to do the same because that's just just proper hygiene words. Pat.
So see, this is okay. This is not. This is definitely not. This, you're just being crazy. So I remember I went to the gas station and the employee literally had their mask below their chin at the desk. I'm like, and I'm just like staring at him with my mask on. I'm like, really?
I can't remember what I was watching. It may have been something totally satirical. It may have been real. I don't know for sure. This guy walks in and it almost reminds me of like one of your old cell phone stores where like the counter was at the back. And this guy walks through the entire store without a mask on, walks up to the counter.
That's the video I posted.
Is it yours?
Yep.
Okay.
That was my... Sir, do you have a mask you could wear? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Puts it on.
Under, like literally under his mouth.
And then the guy like moves the glass in front of him. And then the guy just like goes around the glass and pulls his mask down. And then the employee is like, dude, have you ever heard of COVID?
I'd have just like shoved the fucking thing into it.
Just like, bam, back,
like
I say.
this goddamn, oh my god, I don't know what they're called on Crash Bandicoot, but they've got those whatever.
Oh.
My Crash Bandicoot piece knew what I'm talking about.
I think I do. I've only ever played that game a couple times and you completely destroyed me at it, so. That and Tetris.
Yeah.
Every time I see Tetris, I get like Vietnam flashbacks of you just like
total PTSD.
Just destroying me.
In the arms
that video. Oh, that's a great video. I just videotaped her laughing hysterically as that song plays after beating me like 12 times in a row.
Something like that.
It was great.
It was like 9-3.
Right.
Something like that.
But yeah, certain games I realize I'm suck at. Actually, there's a game I want you to.
certain games I suck at.
There's a game I want you to play. It's called Pokemon Puzzle League, and it's pretty much Tetris Pokemon with a slight twist.
What's the twist?
Ooh,
a twist.
You as blocks are coming down, you can actually like go down to the ones that are already in place and like switch squares around to match up colors.
Colors?
Yep.
To like boost points?
So like if for every like line of 3 you get, the block dissolves. And you want, obviously it's like Tetris, you don't want to get to the very top of the board, but like the only way to make it go lower is by just matching stacks of 3 or more and just completely getting rid of the bricks. And you want to get past the time limit they give you. So you want to survive that long. I played on normal, and this is an N64 game. I played on normal just to get myself started, and I fucking died. And I'm like, how was I this good as a kid? I remember I beat this game. I couldn't get past the first level.
We know more, so we overprocess, overanalyze, we think too much.
I can believe that.
It's also why some people are like, I was way more creative when I was younger. So you stopped thinking freely and succumbed to boredom.
Things were just, I feel like things are just very different when we were kids in the early 90s. Things were, like, remember we were talking the other day? Fucking cheesy shake-em fries at Burger King? When's the last time they did something like that? Like, out of the blue, colored ketchups.
I'm still missing KFC potato wedges.
Rip.
Like, of the best fast food potatoes you can get, like, of a fried form, I would always get a side of gravy and dip my potato wedges in the gravy.
Hold on, I want to try a little something there. There we go. Isn't it weird that both Taco Bell and KFC got rid of their potatoes? Or type of like a potato wedge-like entree? Like, are potatoes just not
maybe
as...
potatoes are expensive.
Maybe after the derecho, they lost all their potatoes.
I don't think it's
a
local thing, though.
You know what? I would have believed it.
I know you would have.
Thanks.
Potatoes aren't grown in Iowa.
I know. We got corn.
We're not in Idaho, right? Idaho to Iowa. I don't know.
Hey, Adam. Speaking of the 90s and us as kids, remember that time that Space Jam movie made us feel feelings towards a particular rabbit?
I happened across an image of this today or yesterday, and I was like, you didn't like her outfit before, which isn't her fault. So you're going to smother her in clothing to make her less sexy, even though we all know what's really underneath those clothes.
Here's the thing. It's so weird when these were just rumors of Space Jam 2. People were like, "Oh man, this movie made us feel like confused about a bunny rabbit in short shorts." And
when you personify it like that.
Oh yeah. Like you purposely, no movie could ever be like, "I made this rabbit sexy." And every guy growing up in the 90s will agree with that. Like there are guys that say my first crush was Lola Bunny. And when Space Jam 2 was just a rumor, people were like, "Oh man, what are they gonna do with Lola this time?" And then people were so excited when the trailer came out. And then
you were gonna say something about her tits because you did this.
Well, in the new trailer,
I wasn't sure.
the fact that like so many people lost their minds when they showed off what she looked like in the movie, and she's wearing like a baggy t-shirt and baggy like long shorts. People are like,
shorts under her shorts.
Right. People are like, where's my sexy rabbit?
Weren't the like tight bike like cycling shorts enough?
Just looking at her chest, where are they? Like, what happened? So many people. It was crazy just how many people were commenting on the internet, being like, "That's not my Lola Rabbit." Like, bring back the bunny boobies on Twitter.
I mean, you don't have to make her so scandalous as before, but in the very least, could you at least like not disgrace her as a female? If you're going to personify her in the first movie, and then you're going to flip the script, you're gonna make her look like
more of a, someone mentioned like she looks like a young female college student, you know, like just wearing baggy clothes all the time. And I was like,
that's a young college student?
I guess so, apparently. But like...
Well, I don't know. Apparently Gen Zers are canceling millennials for literally anything and everything that they like just because they're not millennials, I guess.
Oh yeah, this actually...
And like different things.
This
Excuse us.
The Space Jam thing leads into another thing. I don't know if you saw this, but Pepe Le Pew got canceled.
Why? How?
Because obviously when people saw him in the trailer, a lot of Gen Zers, or I guess I'm not 100% sure if it was just Gen Zers, but a lot of people said like, oh, this guy, oh my god, what's the word? He personifies rape culture because like I guess what's the word? Aggressively went after that black cat that got the white stripe down her back in the old cartoons. She would be like, no, run away, and he would like keep chasing her and keep flirting with her, and people said he portrayed, you know, toxic masculinity and rape culture, you know, forcing himself on the cat.
Don't disagree.
Which
but we also have to understand the origin from which these animations were created, the time that they were created, and the way that like society and culture was. Like, people want to criticize things that came out of history, but they don't want to put into context the social like structures and behaviors of people at that time, and
right.
That's not fair. Like, you can't cross apply shit like that. Like obviously, I really don't want to get into depth of it because we could go all fucking night.
Oh yeah.
But it's really crude to apply like social norms of one present time to another, because though they may change and though they may not be right, that doesn't mean that wasn't the way it was. Like, through this decade, this is traditionally what you expected of people, and there's something to be said about, you know, common behaviors or patterns like that, and I don't think it appropriate to dismiss it just because you disagree with it. Like,
right.
It's called history for a reason. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you will be, you know, cursed to repeat your poor decisions, and people should just be more careful and conscientious of how they mark history in their timelines.
You know, people like the director of the movie even said that Pepe Le Pew was going to have a character building like arc in this. Like, he was gonna have character development. Like, he was going to realize that like what he was doing was wrong, and announce like he treated the cat, you know, horribly, and treated women horribly, and that he was a new man or new skunk, but like something like that. But apparently the backlash was so
stranger.
See, you know,
that seems
right.
even more strange than personifying him in the first place. Just remove the behaviors altogether and don't.
It's just his character people don't like. So like.
No, I understand exactly what the problem is, but if you're going to develop his character that way, why don't you just back develop his character? Why include him at all? Why, you know, like, you could just leave him out if he's such a problematic character. Like, I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with leaving him out if it's going to cause such a fucking uproar. Would you prefer it be, Warner Brothers canceled Pepe Le Pew because they made a better decision to exclude him due to his cultural connotations? Or do you want to give him backlash for it because they tried to do right, but you're going to be all PC about it and be like, well, that was how it was, and that's just what it is, and why not just leave him there? Well, now you're excluding, and this and that and the other, and now we're cancel culture. But it works on both sides. Like, fucking give up the fight. Understand that both sides are fighting for the same fucking thing with different terminology. There's nothing wrong with having different perspectives. Just be gentle enough to meet in the middle and be civil about it. And then coexist. Fuck.
She is feisty tonight.
It's late. It's almost my bed. It's probably past my bedtime.
But yeah, you were even talking about this like earlier, talking about work. Oh man.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's just people don't like the characters they grew up with changing. Like they grew up with these characters, they relate to these characters, because obviously if you grew up with something, you're obviously going to have an attachment and fondness for it. And when you see people,
it stems because that's ultimately it came from that background, that point in culture, that point in time. It's representative.
Mm-hmm.
When you start changing it, manipulating it, you start changing the connotations of where that character even came from. Like, it's almost degrading to the history of that character. Like, though you could spin it and give him a character building arc and make him learn something that others might be able to learn from or whatever. But let's be honest, are other misogynistic men who also dabble in this type of behavior going out watching this movie and really going to come back with are they really going to take away, wow, I should reconsider the way that I treat women? Because, I don't think they're going to watch this movie and be like, that was riveting. It's a fucking animation film. I'll stand corrected if I watch it and I feel that motion or notion in itself.
Just something like, wow, I can't believe I've never realized this my whole life. And
if someone wants to try and compel me, so be it. But I highly doubt that that's the direction of this movie. I highly doubt that that's the motive for making
this movie is entirely just, people been wanting a Space Jam 2 for the longest time.
Putting an arc in there makes me feel like they're just doing it kind of like my girlfriend who was saying the whole Black Lives Matter thing is just a trend. That's exactly what it is. They want to put that little nuance in there because it's trendy, because it's top of mind for people, it's taboo, and people are going to talk about it, and maybe it'll intrigue people enough to watch the movie that they weren't going to think about watching it before.
People will use whatever they can in order to use it as a springboard into popularity, into being relevant? No.
Relevant?
Relevant. That's the word.
Relevant?
Shut up. Words can be hard sometimes.
Yes, I understand. Entirely.
It's just, speaking of movies though, I was thinking of really interesting, fun questions. If you could pick one movie that you've seen to put me in as the lead character, what movie comes to mind?
Any type of movie?
Yep, any movie you've seen that you could totally see me replacing the main character.
Oh my gosh.
I swear to God, if a Seth Rogen movie comes up first.
Well, I'm definitely thinking a comedy of anything.
Oh yeah. Obviously.
The lead role?
Yeah.
You're not gonna like my answer.
Probably not, but you know what? We've already. I'm shooting the shot. Go for it. Is it the Muppet movie? Please tell me it's the Muppet movie.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
Wow. That, honestly, I'm a little surprised at that. I'm kind of scared to ask, but why?
I don't know. I feel like the whole, like, store family thing is totally your vibe, and you would totally be that person to confide in your coworkers to be like, guys, I need to get laid. I really want to meet someone, and I'm kind of desperate. Like, can you please help me?
Wow. Man. Rude. The audacity.
You asked.
I know, but
And then you asked again.
I know, but I genuinely never even began to imagine that would be your answer.
Pick one for me. Now you're totally not gonna pick a badass movie.
No, see, like, it's still crossing my mind. I'm just like, is that too badass for you? Because apparently...
There ain't nothing too badass for me. That movie ain't been written yet. Just saying.
As the main character. You know what? I could totally see you being the lead role in Underworld.
That'd be kind of cool.
Like, I've seen you, with that type of, like, dark, like, shoulder-length black hair, dark eyes.
Totally thought about cutting my hair like that. I mean, my hair is naturally pretty dark.
Yeah, I've rarely ever seen it in the natural color.
I wore my hair natural for 2 years. Oh, maybe that's when we weren't talking.
Probably not.
Yeah, there was a time where Phil and I were not actually, like, talking. Like, friends. We've been friends for 15 years, and there was, like, a time in there was a little bit
Yeah, and a girlfriend.
So there's some history between us. If you guys ever get curious, feel free to ask some questions. That sounds bad, but it's still true.
Like, if it ever gets to that point, I'm just saying, there's the last call, like, ridiculously. So, fun fact, I have truth or drink here. There is literally, this deck is the tough questions that exes and people that are dating will ask. And, like...
Let's just read one for example and see.
There you go.
From the middle. Have you ever considered ending our relationship, and why?
This is a drinking game, I told you, right? If you don't want to answer the question, you take a shot.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a pretty silent game.
I feel like it's gonna be a fucking drunk game.
Yes.
So, hey, if anybody ever gets to that point and wants us to play one of these drinking games / we're not gonna drink, we're just gonna read cards off here. Because drinking, why would you want to drink when you can do other things?
I mean, especially on a Wednesday.
A Wednesday night. It's like, what do I want to do tonight? Get drunk on a Wednesday?
That sounds awful.
Terrible. Another thing, so I told you this, that I listened to a podcast with Anna Faris, and she had Seth Rogen on there, and she played this game with him called Would You Smoke That?
Huh.
And she literally would just read off scenarios, and she would be like, would you smoke in that situation?
Oh.
Like, one of them was, she says, a cop pulls you over. You get out of the car, and you're scared. But then he's like, oh no, I'm just a huge fan of yours. I'm not gonna give you a ticket. All of a sudden, cop pulls out a joint and says, I will be the happiest man in the world if you smoke this with me. I'm not gonna arrest you. This is not a prank. This is not a joke. Like, I genuinely want you to do this with me. Would you smoke it? And Seth was like, I've been in that exact position before, and I didn't.
And I didn't.
He's like, because I don't want to take that gamble.
Yeah, I don't know if I would either. That sounds really risky.
Right, they're
really
like
clever.
Right. I mean, could they get arrested for offering somebody weed as a trap to get them to smoke?
I don't know. Like coercing someone.
Right. Be like, I'm not going to arrest you if you smoke this.
That's a good question. I wonder. There's been a lot of interesting question about police activity lately. So
I
who
can
knows?
imagine.
Maybe it'll come up in question.
Have you ever met someone, like, famous, and you messed up, like, meeting them for the first time?
No.
I have, and I'll always remember it, and it's always gonna be one of my worst memories ever, is when I met Lil Dicky at his concert here in Iowa City, and I was so nervous because, like, you know, he's one of my favorite musicians and just personalities, and I walked up to him, and I, you know, immediately want to be the one to, you know, like, say hi first, but apparently he's also the same kind of guy that likes to say that first. So as he started saying, "Hey, I'm Dave," and I'm like, "Little Dicky, it's so awesome to meet you." Fuck! Like, I interrupted him, and I will always forget that. Like, I will always remember that. Not forget it. I will always remember that. I will always
wish you forgot it.
I wish I would forget that. But he, like, it just was so awkward after, like, just, I couldn't get that out of my head for the whole concert. I'm like, oh my God, I interrupted him. This is horrible. But I did feel like I redeemed myself at the end of the show. Because I went with Mikey. It was his 21st birthday present. And he left with the girl he was dating at the time. So I'm, like, just sitting there, you know, sobering up a little bit before I decide to drive home. And I see Lil Dicky coming out the side door in the alley. And he's just, like, walking towards me and everything. And I'm like, this is my moment. Like, this is where I redeem myself for that. And I walked up to him like, Lil Dicky, Dave, my guy. And he was super nice enough to actually, you know, stop and listen. And I'm like, hey man, you know, I just want to let you know, you helped me out of a really dark time I was in. Cause, like, that was after, right around the time that I got out of that relationship you know of. And I was super depressed, but, like, listening to his music would make me laugh. And it was one of the few things that actually brought me, like, joy around that really bad depression. So I told him that. I'm like, you helped me out of a really dark place. You know, I love your music. I relate to your music more than any other rapper, obviously. And I just told him, thank you so much. And he's like, dude, that's one of the nicest things anyone has ever told me. And he's like, come here, man. And, like, he hugged me. And I'm just like, I'm hugging Lil Dicky. This is great. This is fantastic.
You know, though, he'll probably actually remember your interaction meeting you the first time, because he probably thinks the same thing about people. If you're one of those people that typically, like, I'm gonna make sure I say something first, I'm gonna introduce myself first, I'm gonna put myself out there. Like, if he's that type of person, like, and you did it on top of him, he would probably remember that, like,
right,
that fumble.
Right.
But then also to see you again in the alley, I would imagine he'd be smart enough to make the correlation, and, you know.
You need to watch his show if you haven't. It's pretty amazing. Dave on Hulu.
I'm really more into BuzzFeed Unsolved right now.
I haven't even heard of that.
So BuzzFeed is kind of my guilty pleasure.
With many, many other people, but go on.
BuzzFeed is not a people. BuzzFeed is a company.
No, I'm saying with, like, you share that with a lot of other people.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you mean the BuzzFeed?
Shut up. So they have a series called Unsolved, and they have one called True Crimes, they have one called Supernatural, and they're like 20-minute episodes about short stories. He does, like, this research on unsolved mysteries of supernatural origin or true crime origin, and I have been binging and learning and being really freaked out and falling asleep and having weird dreams, so that's cool.
Oof. So check out BuzzFeed's Unsolved on Hulu.
It's great. It's great. It really is. I enjoy it. Ryan and Shane are very entertaining.
They are.
They're cuties. I think they're cute.
Alright guys, it's super late, and I don't know if you can tell, but she's getting hangry.
I'm not hangry, I'm just sleepy.
Slangry. Sleepy angry. Smad.
Irritable. Smad.
Smad. Look it up. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. On Hulu.
I swear we're not plugging Hulu right now.
Nope. If they become a sponsor, we'll definitely let you know.
Okay. On that note, I suppose we're gonna kick this off. Turn this off. Get this? No. Yeah, it's time to go. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed our podcast. We try to do these regularly.
You know how it is. Busy adult lives and such.
If there are any topics you would like discussed, please comment them below. If there's anything you'd like to know about us, please comment below.
And if you...
This tale is so distracting.
And if you could think of a movie where either one of us could play the main character,
Ooh,
what
good
would you
question.
choose?
I forgot about that question.
That was a good one, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like my answer, but you know.
We are cosplayers, so who knows? Maybe it'll stir up some inspiration. Rewind.
Hold on, wait. La 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 la. Thank you. Bedtime. Night, Megan.